One other thing I would like to, I was talking with Phil the other day, I think we should dive into. Um, he was explaining to me about the so-called equal pay of women's soccer. Do you want to explain everything you explained to me?
Yeah. So I've always been a fan against what they were claiming, because the U.S. women's national team, I think they filed a lawsuit against the U.S. Soccer Federation, saying that pay, the pay that they get, like per match, and the win loss bonuses aren't equal to the men, and they're not. But the reason there's reasons behind it, right? Not Let me get into this one real quick. So one the first thing that people have to understand is the US women get a straight salary by the US Soccer Federation. That, like, they run the National Women's Soccer League. And what they do, instead of the clubs paying for the players that play in the National Women's Soccer League and the U.S. Women's National Team, instead of the clubs paying for it, the U.S. Soccer Federation pays for it. So they get a straight salary, and then their bonuses are obviously not as big because they don't pay for the men. The men don't get a salary. Like, they just show up and they get paid their bonus. They get their pay, and then they get their bonus, win, loss, whatever. Um, so that's the first thing. And then the second thing is, you have to look at the club itself, like now the National Women's Soccer League versus the MLS and the other leagues. But we'll stick to the MLS because a lot of the Americans play in the MLS. You have onesies and twosies of place for other leagues, but we'll stay. So, the MLS is gaining popularity. It's popular and it's gaining popularity. It's not at the level that the British League and the Spanish League and the German leagues are at, but it's gaining popularity. And and the National Women's Soccer League, they're they're nowhere close to being as competitive at all compared to the MLS. Like, you're looking at the average attendance. The average attendance of a National Women's Soccer League game is 6,000 people. 6,000
Jeez.
people on average show up to National Women's Soccer League. The MLS, the lowest attended game last year for the MLS is 5,100 people. So it's kind of close, right? It's kind of like, their average is probably MLS lowest attended game. The and the U.S. Soccer Federation, actually, they subsidize. Not only do they subsidize the salaries of these female players, but they're also subsidizing for, like, the facilities and all the additional stuff that goes along with it to keep it alive. Because if they didn't subsidize the National Women's Soccer League, it's dead.
Mm-hmm.
It's dead. There's nothing left to it. Whereas the MLS, their TV deal pays them like $90 million a year. They have, they have a lot of people that attend their games. Their final, the MLS Cup, had like 72,000 people, and it had like millions of people viewed the game. So it's a different animal. But of course, nobody wants to listen to that on the other side. They just see, women win World Cup, we should get same pay. And it's like, and then even if you look at the the national teams, right? they're basing their proportionally to what FIFA pays for like a World Cup, right? So obviously the argument that you're starting to hear with other like outlets is, you know, so the last World Cup in Russia, the men's World Cup in Russia, gained $6 billion in revenue, and the player pool for prize money was 400 million. So where the winner got like 38 million, I think it was. The winning team got 38 million. So the women's World Cup, they had like, I think it's like somewhere around 150 million in revenue, in total revenue. And I think the players got like 30 sub million or something like that. So it's actually so the women actually got a higher percentage toward over the actual revenue than the men got.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah. So it's like they're more like FIFA's going out of their way to they're actually overcompensating the women. Not only that, the US Soccer Federation is overcompensating for the women. Like we're in proportion to the revenue, they're overcompensating. And so so this is the argument that they have. So now, and this is politically kind of divided too. Whereas, you know, you see a lot of these like liberal democratic politicians that are going equal pay. Like you saw Kristen Gillibrand, Kamala Harris, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, all these people were saying, "Oh, the women are winning championships, and so therefore they should at least get equal pay." And it's not that simple of an argument.
Yeah, it sounds like to me it's a lot of, oversimplified thinking, and just like with any gender gap debate, they aren't comparing the same things. They're comparing
Nope.
apples to oranges. The men here are doing different jobs for different amounts of time. They're getting bigger audiences. They're paid differently. They have bigger name advertisers. They get more attention. They get more publicity. They have more tournaments. They have more
Mm-hmm.
games. Yada yada yada. So of
Mm-hmm.
course they're going to be paid differently.
Yeah. And last kicker, right? So the other side are going to say, well, uh, there was a study, or there was a research that said that from 2016 to 2018, over that time span, the women actually gained more in revenue than the men, which is it's very deceptive because
Mm-hmm.
one, the men didn't qualify for the World Cup. If they would have qualified for the World Cup, they would have went over by leaps and bounds. The And two, they play the women's national team play more games than the men because the men have other obligations. Like they have the MLS has 34 games. The English League, which Christian Pulisic now plays for, that's 38 games. The German League, 38 games. Like pretty much the European team have 38 games. MLS has 34. The National Women's Soccer League has like 24 games.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a more opportunity for the National Women's Soccer League or the women's national team to play more games, and they do. Um, like over the last year and a half, the women's national team has played 5 more games than the men, and still, but even with that, the men's national team still had more attendance, not only per game but overall. Like when you compared those two statistics, so it's a very deceptive statistic,
Mm-hmm.
and so I mean, honestly, if the and I'll throw something else here too. I know I'm throwing a lot of stuff here.
There's a lot of pieces of this puzzle. It's very
There is.
complicated.
There is. So the women's national so the National Women's Soccer League just signed a they just signed a television deal with ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
The financial terms were not disclosed.
Oh.
Nor is the National Women's Soccer League. Their financials aren't disclosed either.
Mm-hmm.
That there's a little deception going on there, right? But anyway, guess what channel the National Women's Soccer League was on before ESPN? Go ahead, take a wild guess. I'll give you a hint. It's a woman's network.
Let's see, QVC.
No, women's network.
For Winfrey Network.
Say it again.
Did you say the Cooking Network?
No, Lifetime.
Oh my
Lifetime.
God.
You've never heard of Lifetime play any sports fucking thing ever, but they'll play National Women's Soccer League games. But in any case, if they gain more, they'll get more. This is a very capitalistic argument, right? Now, I hope that they get paid more, but they have to earn more. You know, there's nothing wrong with women getting more when they earn more, right? Like this World Cup, over 1 billion, around 1 billion people viewed the Women's World Cup. So the prize money will probably rise just by more people seeing the World Cup. Maybe this TV deal with ESPN, maybe that gives them more viewership. Maybe that'll up the revenue, and then it'll up the ticket sales, and therefore it'll up the salaries, right? Maybe that happens. And it's not like we don't like people don't want them to earn more money, but it has to be
people want them
natural.
To earn.
Yeah, it's an earned thing, right?
Well, if you're going to lose to a bunch of 15-year-old boys, yeah, you're going to get paid less. You are not high caliber AAA players, unlike other ones. It's just the facts. I bet if you pitted the women's...
Your value, and this goes for any business, anything out there. Your value is whatever someone else is willing to pay.
Yep.
Right? So if not a lot of people are willing to pay for you, you're not going to get a whole lot, right? And, like with the men's national team, Christian Pulisic, he just signed some bazonka deal for Chelsea, right? They paid what they paid? It was 60-70 million for the player, and then he got I think he might be making over 10 million to play for Chelsea. Like, people are going to pay to watch this kid play, so he's going to get paid reflective of that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, and the other thing I think also is, and you both should give your opinion on this because it'll be interesting. Well, let's say we had a game. This actually might happen, and I think it should happen to prove a point to people. What if we played a soccer game that pitted the men's U.S. soccer team against the women's U.S. soccer team? Who would win?
I mean, well, of course. You know who would win.
Well, here's the thing. When I was in high school, I was on the swimming team, and in the swimming team, you could go and tell like the men's and the women's scores would be like significantly different. Like to even qualify for like a for a score as a man was much more hard to do than like comparatively than as a woman. It would be hard, but like if the man were to go and take that place, it would be easy. Like I would have qualified for certain things, and I was never a star like player on there. But if I was a woman, like or if I was rated as a woman, I would have like qualified for like districts or something. Like it is crazy the amount of differences that you get between men and women with that.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's not saying that women are like, worse or anything. There's certain things that they, it's just
we're different. It's that simple. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
We're just different.
Yeah.
What happened to diversity, people?
There's a lot of women out there that could kick my ass on a lot of sports, but on the average, men tend to do better, at these things than women do.
Yeah. It's just the way we tend to be. It just is. But I bet biology is pretty sexist now.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, so do I like me? If I have money, do I want to see Megan Rapinoe dribble a ball past a goalkeeper, or do I want to see Cristiano Ronaldo kick it from outside the penalty box and curve it on the way in?
Yes.
Like
now
that's yeah. Like that. This is what I'm saying. And more okay, so more people when Cristiano Ronaldo moved to Real Madrid, like when he got bought, when Real Madrid paid a boatload of money to buy him, they had a presentation, right? Because normal times when you buy a star player, they present you and you do this thing for the fans and all that stuff. Over 80,000 people came to the Bernabeu to watch Cristiano Ronaldo be presented as a Real Madrid player. That wasn't even a fucking game, right? They paid to watch him be presented. More people paid for his presentation. More women paid for his presentation than any fucking women's soccer game ever, right? Ever. And you're talking that this is the difference. This is the difference right here, right? Right there is the damn difference. You I would love to be able to pay. Okay, so that's not saying that there's women that I wouldn't pay money to see from a sporting obviously. Yeah. You know what I mean.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
All right. Don't get dirty on me. Come back to me, people.
Oh, come on. I would never do that.
Yeah. No, like Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey's fighting. I'll probably order the pay-per-view, right? I'll probably order it, right? It's there's certain athletes. Serena Williams, even though she lost, I watched her play, right?
She's very good.
Right.
That 15-year-old too is really, really good. She beat Venus, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, and I'm saying look, and it's not, but I'm saying there are women that people will pay to see.
Yeah, but it's usually tennis. It's 9 times out of 10 tennis.
But I'm saying and some I did watch the Women's World Cup. I did watch it. I was trying to be supportive.
Good boy.
But those goals sucked ass. I'm sorry. There was the only goal that I saw that I liked was the second goal. I want to say it was Kelly O'Hara.
Mm-hmm.
I think she smacked a really good goal. But every other goal was like a penalty, or is it like a dribble shot that went past the goalkeeper? I'm just like, come on.
I played soccer. Those are the layups in the soccer world.
Yeah, I'm like, look, and I'm a pretty big soccer fan too. I can tell. the Clasico, the Real Madrid Barcelona games. I freaking live for them. Right? I will say everything stops. Everything stops when a Clasico comes to town. But yeah, because they're athletic. It's a beautiful. The ball movement is epic. The goal scoring is incredible. And that's what I would pay money to see. If I wanted to see people, dribble a ball past a goalkeeper, I'd take my ass to the fucking Penn State Stadium and see it, right? I would like
No,
same
it's not
effect.
insular school.
Same effect. No. I'm saying, you know,
They're
it's
not
like,
as
no.
good as what you're saying, and you're not wrong.
Yes. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. If I offended any people, I apologize, but that's the reality of the world we live in.
Now you're definitely not getting that diploma in the mail.
I already got it. Penn State can suck it now. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, come that. Yeah.
Go State.
Okay.
Go State.
Okay. Yeah, that was a very very believable motivational.
They're still getting my money.
Oh,
They're still getting my money. I'm going to pay a premium. I'm going to go see the whiteout game. Have you? By the way, have you guys ever seen a whiteout game?
No, but I'm a senior.
Oh my God, the epic is so epic, right? There's like every year that Penn State has the whiteout game where it's like 110,000 people pack in the stadium, dress in white, and they scream whenever the opponent has the ball. Everybody screams at the top of their lungs. It's like, it is crazy. That is a crazy game.
I'm just not into the sports ball, but maybe I'll do one. Maybe I'm.
Yeah, you have to see it. Yeah, if you're only going to see one game, that's the one you got to see.